Hey, um, okay, so I want to start. I want to start with what 2021 did to me. So, for many of you that don't know, because y'all not on TikTok, I had one hell of a 2021. 2021 broke me. It ate me up. I didn't think I was gonna get through the year. I didn't think I was gonna get through the year. Just I don't know. So I had a very eventful but rough year, from breakups to losing friends to reevaluating my friendships and my life, to reevaluate my relationships with my family. I know some of my family is going to be watching this, so I'm just going to say what I'm going to say. The beginning of my 2021, it started off okay. Then it hit me with a big surprise back in April, because after my son's birthday, I started to receive a lot of messages on TikTok from a few friends, and one of them was from a guy that saw my videos. Now, everybody knows, like, yeah, I'd probably be hooked onto guys so much in relationships because I've been looking for a relationship for a long time now. But I took my time with this one. I didn't rush, I didn't question, and I didn't push anybody. So I kind of started doing my thing on TikTok, and I started gaining more followers. And supposedly, this TikTok thing is about entertainment and everything, having fun, but it turned into a whole love fest. Everybody was hooking up, people was finding love, and it was inspiring me to find love. But at the same time, every time I try to find love, it backfires, it never works. So I became friends with this guy named Will on TikTok, and we was back and forth messaging each other. And then I started to, start growing parties, like doing growing parties, meaning when you're on TikTok and you're trying to grow up your followers, you go to these live growing parties where you get to meet more peoples and y'all follow each other, whatever the case is. So fast forward to June, between April and June, I started growing more followers, and I started becoming cool with people, like TikTok friends. And I didn't think I was going to make as much friends as I did. And I was happy because now I don't have to feel so alone. Like, I could always talk to them and be entertained by them. And they seem to be cool. So Will popped up again, and he kept messaging me. He kept like commenting underneath my videos and pictures, just complimenting them. And I started to like that. So something was like nudging me to respond to him. So we just, I replied to his comments, and we both exchanged phone numbers, and he ended up talking to me on WhatsApp. So we was really messaging each other from April up until July. And I guess we became cool friends. And he's from Virginia, and he's a lot older. So I started to feel some type of way about him, because I was like, yo, all these good conversations we was having, and then he made a joke, and that's what started the relationship, was off of a joke. And I saw that he kept me laughing and smiling, so I didn't think that we was gonna be dating, but he asked me out. And he was like, well, he never been to New York City before, so it would be cool for him to come up here. I was like, okay, fine. So the week of him coming up here, he asked me out officially as his girlfriend. Wanted me to start dating him, wanted me to start talking to him, back and forth on the phone, do what everybody do. So I'm like, fine. He came up here in August and everything just completely turned around. I felt like my summer was going to be good, but it really wasn't. It wasn't the best, and it wasn't what I thought it was going to be, because usually I'm always out in Manhattan or Brooklyn and I'm always meeting up with friends, but this year it was a totally different thing. So not only that my friendship with my old buddy TQ ended, and it ended on a horrible note because we got into a horrible argument, but it made me realize that I really didn't need the type of friends that I had. And I was so heartbroken by the friendships, because I was friends with these kids since we was 17 years old. And it's like, it's not easy breaking up with friends that you've been friends with since childhood, since you was teenagers, with all the memories you share, all the fun you had. So when Will came into my life, he came into my life trying to be that person I could talk to and be my friend, whatever. But it's like I said, I had my reservations. I didn't know if I could trust it, but I ended up trusting him. Gave a lot of my energy to this man, and I started, putting my heart into it. Like always, I put my heart into every relationship, put my energy in. I end up getting fucked over at the end of the day. Then he came to New York. He was supposed to spend the weekend with me, and that didn't happen. So let me tell you why. So we started talking about doing stuff together, started going out, and we didn't get a chance to do anything. He stayed in the house the entire time, and I thought we was gonna have a lovely weekend, but he ended up dipping out on me Saturday morning, and this started the argument. He made up a lie about why he has to leave. I guess because of the fact that I didn't want to pay for everything for him, and I didn't want to spend no money on him, whatever. And then he judged me on the way I lived. He left. So I didn't say nothing to him until later on that night. We got into an argument, and then the real argument started the next day, and that's what broke us up. So fast forward to October, I met some new peoples. Once again, I'm sitting here giving my energy to the wrong peoples, vampire suckers, and we all clicked very well, and some of us clicked together very well over music. We all had a lot in common, and all of a sudden, fast forward to after Thanksgiving, I had to cut that friendship off because I was betrayed, I was lied on, I was disrespected and ganged up on and bullied by a bunch of grown-ass peoples between the ages of 38 and 50. Yeah, who would have known a bunch of grown peoples will bully somebody and they're those ages? So it was a lot spread around on TikTok about me that I was calling people out their names, I was talking shit about them, whatever the case is, with no proof at all. So I thought that was kind of funny. But after that, I finally saw what type of people they was and how they was rocking, so I left that alone as well. And then fast forward to November, I met somebody new. Everybody was so excited that I met somebody new because they thought this person was such a genuine guy. So they was like, whatever you do, please just take it slow. Don't do anything. Don't rush. Don't be so quick to say I love you to this man. Which I didn't. I took my time with him. I spoke to him. I introduced myself to him. We met through a mutual friend on TikTok. On one of my lives, we had a conversation about trips We had a conversation about what we wanted to do, because a lot of people wanted to do girls trips, and then you see a lot of guys who wants to join a girls trip. So we always sit here talking about going to California, going to Florida, and coming to New York. All these people never been in New York before, so they just wanted to know, and they was curious about me, and they was like, yo, we gotta go meet up with this girl, she's cool, like, I love the energy and everything, we should take a trip out of December. I was like, okay, no problem, even though I knew they wasn't gonna come because everybody just got up in the moment. So when you get caught up in the moment, you just want to do everything. I was like, between February and March, we could probably do something, or even in the summertime, because I told them the best time to come to New York is in the spring and summertime, where there's not any snow and you don't have to worry about anything else. So, long story short, after a day or two of talking about this, and this guy asked me what I wanted to do, what trip I always wanted to go to, since I kept saying I wanted to go on the trip. I said I want to go to Florida. He was like, where? I said, Miami. So he said, okay, I got you. Automatically offered to pay for my trip. So I was like, okay, so we should talk. Definitely DM me. So about maybe 16 minutes later, 20 minutes later, he was like, well, I need to give you my number because I want to offer you something. So he was like, how would you feel if I was to invite you to come to Chicago with me on a business trip, because I have a business going on right now. So I asked him what he did for a living. He told me he was a tech. And on top of that, he owns another business where he fits up buildings. He tries to get other businesses started. And he said he's been working on his own business for years. All of a sudden, these business started crashing and nothing was happening. So I'm like, okay, what the hell is going on here? So he was trying to make up stories and everything. He thought he was going to impress me, and it didn't impress me. I wasn't impressed by anything when it's come to this guy, but I was super attracted to this guy because he was just, the way he was talking, and then he was nice, he was a gentleman, and of course with the smooth talk and everything, it got me just a little. So we started talking more and more throughout the week, and by the end of the week, we was already packing to get ready to go to the trip. So I was like, fine. I reluctantly say yes. And I told everybody, including my aunt. So long story short, that trip ended up messed up. It got cut short. We wasn't even out there for 24 hours, and we already went our separate ways. What happened? I could tell you two things that happened on that trip. One, he sat here and said that his company supplies didn't deliver to Chicago, it stayed in California. And on top of that, he thought I didn't know or didn't think that he had another woman. So I said 3 days before the trip, his ex-wife contacted me, and she let it be known that, because of what he said on WhatsApp, she said it's kind of hard to want to get married to somebody when you're already married. And this happened around 2:30 in the morning, and it caught me by surprise. So I'm like, who the hell is this woman? Why she's contacting me? So she sends me pictures of screenshots of text messages and a list of numbers of women that he was dating. So come to find out, I wasn't the only woman he was dating. He was dating 5 other women. I was his 6th woman. And it really tore me up because I was like, yo, how can this man do this to me? And I started to like this guy. So I'm like, yo, before I give any more of my energy to this man, I need to settle this situation with him. All of a sudden, he contacts me 4 o'clock in the morning, and this is before the trip, mind you, and said, what was this? Oh, I think somebody hacked into my phone. And I'm like, nobody can hack into your phone or your WhatsApp. So all this